Hi y'all. I've had a lot of requests for how to make the little sushi platter, so I'm going to do that today. You're going to want to start with a plate. You can buy them on Amazon or eBay, or you can make them. This one I made. I prefer square plates with Asian food. I just like the way it looks, but you can use whatever you like. You're going to need a little bowl of soy sauce. The tutorial on how to make the bowls is on my page, so you can make your little bowl. What I have in that is Kato poly clay in the black. You can also do this with TLS and chalk pastels. You can add a little bit of brown to it if you like. The black looks just fine. And we're going to start with how to make the sushi. The rice balls, and I've got these ones are really big for the purpose of you being able to see it. Get comfortable here, my goodness. So you're going to start with a ball of white clay, and then you want to kind of flatten it a little bit between your fingers. And you're going to just kind of make a barrel shape. And then on the top, you don't need to worry about the bottom or the sides for this one. You're going to want to use your needle tool. Now this is a little different than cake texturing. In cake texturing you do little bitty circles and you try not to lift your needle tool because it leaves a lot of little bits and pieces. On this one you want to kind of beat it up a little bit, and you're going to want that rougher texture and the little bits and pieces to get it to the texture of rice. So you're just going to keep working it and scraping at it until you have the consistency of rice. And then I like to take a little snake of white clay and roll it really, really thin. I'm just going to roll that out. And you can use your knife or whatever tool you want, and I like to take off little tiny pieces and just give them a little roll, and then stick those on for some loose rice. And you can't really see it real well, but it really does give a realistic texture to your piece. It's just something about it actually adds to it, even though your eye doesn't discern it. It adds a lot, so I just take the time to add these little bits of rice to it. And then you just kind of want to stick those down a little bit so they don't come off. So those are for the rice balls. That's these little bits here. And then we're going to take a sheet of black clay with a little dark green added to it. And what I did with this is I rolled it on this thinnest setting on my pasta machine. You can do it by hand, whatever you have and whatever works for you. And then we're going to take these and we're going to cut just a thin strip of this and clean the edges up. And we're going to take that and wrap it around the outside of our rice ball. Looks like mine's not going to fit. Oh, there we go. Okay. Get that all situated on there. And then I have this sandpaper tool. It's very, very rough. And what I do is I just roll this, because seaweed has a lot of texture on it. So I'm going to roll this back and forth on here. And you can use a fingernail file or a piece of sandpaper or whatever you have to do this. I've tried a toothbrush and I don't really like the way that works, so, whatever you have. Then you're going to have that nice texture on your rice ball. And you can just add texture to the edges here with your needle tool. So there's your basic rice ball, and you're going to want to make a few of these to go on your plate. And then, excuse me, I have basically a cube of white clay, and I give it a little bend, just a little bit of a bend to it. And you're going to want to texture this the same way you did your rice ball. You're just going to come in and texture that up the same way. And you're going to want to do all the sides with the bottom on this one, because that's all going to be showing in your finished piece. So do the same thing you did with your rice ball and get your really good texture on that. And then come back and put your little individual pieces of rice on it. And I won't do all of that right now. I want to show you, continue on with the toppings. So you have your little cube of rice in your rice ball, and for your toppings, this is a real simple cane. It's a dark reddish pink with a whole bunch of translucent mixed in, and a white and translucent, and you just layer them randomly to make a cane. And then you want these in kind of rounded on the top and a little square on the bottom, but basically making a salmon cane. And you can use 2 or 3 different colors if you want. I only have the 2 in this one, but I've done them with 3 or 4 different colors, but they all need to be in that pinkish red spectrum for your salmon steaks, and you can add a little bit of orange to it. And you're basically gonna, and don't do this on your fingers, I'm just doing that so I can get it close enough for you to see what I'm doing. You're gonna have your little salmon steak here. Drop my tool under the desk. Here we go. Okay, so I take my my needle tool and I press down in the center of the salmon steak just to give an indentation in the center, and then some little lines across the sides just to give it some texture, and then I give it a little turn in to kind of give it some more shape. So it kind of looks like that. And this can fit across either one of these. I'm going to put it on this one here. Get the little salmon steak on the rice ball, like that. And then you can add a little bit of veggies to it. I have a sheet of orange, a darker orange color here that I use for carrots. And you can just cut a nice square strip, a nice strip like that, and then just cut your carrots out, a little juliana carrot, and you can add that to your little roll there, or whatever you use your imagination, whatever you want to do with it. I also have a little sheet of green here, and you can top these any way your imagination takes you. Green pepper, whatever, just whatever you want to do. So I have a little strip of green, the same as the carrots there, and I'm going to just take a little piece of that off and just kind of lay that on. Oh, I don't like that there. There goes my imagination.